Hello guys, thank you for coming back. If you're joining me, this seems kind of crooked. But if you're joining me, thank you, and please like, comment, and subscribe. But I just had a day today. It's Monday, just got back from spring break. And I just wanted to sit and talk through my day. And kind of the big question of today I felt like was for me is living in one's true self. And what does that mean, especially like being a Christian, and how to balance just your feelings that you have inside and being yourself, but also going by the word, going by God and what he says to live, and wanting to truly live in that light. And just going based on today, like going to work and then just going through the day and trying to live like a child of God. And I'll just also balance how I feel, and is it the world tricking me? Is it Satan just tricking me into the pleasures of this world? And really just questioning myself a little bit today and just taking a step back. So let me just take you through my thought process, because I went through my mind. So it's, first of all, like, the earth is just so simple, yet we base a lot of our feelings and decisions and how things should be based on society and how society is. Like, nobody said we had to be here in our teens and here in our 20s, here in our 30s. And then there's so much prejudice and stereotyping in the world of that's all good and bad. Like, some people have always been known that you're not going to be nothing, you'll be lucky to graduate, all these things. And other people's like, you got to be the best, like you got to go, you got to make money, you got to be rich, you got to live in a mansion, da 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 da. We have so many bias and stereotypes that we have, that society give us, and we take it in, when really, like, it doesn't even matter of where we should be in life, how we should feel. And I think a big one that's been on me is how to act, from shows and how other people act. And then obviously like TikTok and Instagram. I know TikTok's a big thing. I don't know if it's a law ban, I don't know what's going on there, but anyways, I don't even know what's going on. Another day for that. But just TikTok and Instagram and all these social medias, and then life of going out of what the cool people are doing, how they're acting, and feeling like I need to be that bad, I need to be that bad, I need to be that. But really you don't. Like, it's all such a mind game, because who said that was cool? Not God. It's just the people God made, and just tricking us to think something is cool, something is, that is how you should be, that is how you should act. And it's all just a mind game. God doesn't even see our, like, he just sees our heart. He doesn't see if we're the most prettiest girl in the world or not, or the most popular girl. Like, he doesn't even look at any of that. He just sees our heart. So I want to live by my heart, and so that's what I want to try and do. And I need to think first of the Bible and what the Bible says, not what society says, which can be honestly really hard, because you're feeding yourself constantly that TikTok, Instagram, life of going out with people, and then Instagram, and then just seeing, oh, that looks cute, everybody's wearing it. Like you can't even pick out clothes without thinking like who's wearing it, who's not. And I wish I could just separate that and figure out, but I think the thing I want to work on first is inside. So basically, am I making sense? I hope so. I feel good. I'm talking it out in my therapy session right now. But another thing is, like, for the inside of figuring out who I am and finding my own true self with how I feel about things, is separating what is truly me and then what is like doing it just out of instinct, just doing it just out of that feeling I had in that moment, and just finding the balance for that, of not having that immediate gratification of, I said it back, I said that, that's how like, just being so quick with it, because I feel like I'm also at a place where I want to protect myself and my peace, because I feel like I have a lot of peace inside and I just want to protect it, so it's hard. So if anybody does anything to me, I'm not even fast to say something because I'm not confrontational, but I'm very fast to be like, no, don't have time, and just not even acknowledge what just happened. I'm just kind of running away from even dealing with it, instead of like talking and not even talking, but listening, and having trouble just listening. So I just want to work on that immediate gratification, and just knowing that I just need to calm down and breathe. Even though it does seem like a big deal, and I don't want to take away anything that is a big deal, but honestly, is it a big deal to God? Like, does this need to put me at the edge of hell? Like, not hell, but like, does this really need to be something that's, I need to come and apologize to? Like, it's making me a sinful person. Like, it doesn't need to be one of my sins. Like, because it's not that serious. Like, it's not that serious for me to be, for Satan to get that little win. Like, and little wins for Satan can lead to big ones, and we just don't want that snowfall to happen. So I just, I don't know. So like with immediate gratification, is that felt good in the moment of saying it, doing it, whatever. But I'm trying, like, how do I, and I think it just needs to take a moment and breathe. It's okay to step back and then come back to it with a fresh mind and not be freshly, because we're gonna have our emotions. That's just naturally gonna happen. But taking a step back and saying like, and thinking like, what, like really getting my emotions together of how I feel, how I want to handle it, and all those things. And just because one conversation or something happened where it may felt like a loss to society, or like they really did you, doesn't mean they really, like, you gotta have that way. Like, it doesn't change who I am. These outside things shouldn't change me, because really, whatever, they're just things, like, whatever, it doesn't change me. But, so, and then I feel like my true self, and I just want to dig deeper into who I am as a person, and I just want to be like who I want to be without society telling me. And I don't know, do y'all get what I'm saying? Okay, I got my thoughts together. And then just immediate gratification, like I just want to, anyways, I talked about that. I just want to think before I do and not be so quick to protect myself. So I'm praying right now that God can just help me in that area. And then living in one's true self right now, and I also think a beautiful thing is God is still working on us in our story, and which is such a beautiful thing. But in this moment of my life, and I'm 20 years old, I really feel like I'm living in one of my most truest selves, of getting to know myself, which is a blessing. And the crazy thing about it is, I feel like society, so you just want to be the coolest, so you want to make sure you say the right things, wear the right things, and da-da-da-da-da. But really, I've been doing my best when I'm just being myself and being, I guess, weird, but everybody is weird. Those intrusive thoughts, those just being weird. And I feel like also when you start not saying what you And it's not even, because as long as it doesn't hurt people, you can say like, "Oh, what if I just threw this?" Ugh. You know, like, just, and that's not even like crazy, but like just stuff like that, where it's like, "Ew, don't want them to think I'm weird when I think like it." But it's just like, we all have it. Don't need to like hide it. We don't need to hide what everybody naturally feels and thinks, and as long as it doesn't hurt, because I think that's also something that happens when you're a Christian, of people think, and also like that stereotype, you have no fun. What are y'all are so judgmental and da 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 and all these things. And it also is a balance, because you don't want to lean into pleasure, but I think the pleasure that the Bible talks about is more so that immediate gratification, not those little funny little thoughts, like just, oh, what if I turn this off and like what you're supposed to, let's just not say, oh, I bet I can replace doing Spider-Man or something, like just those thoughts. But also it's those immediate gratification that Jesus doesn't want us to, or what I believe Jesus doesn't want us to lean into, because really everything in the Bible, it helps protect us and our peace. Like the immediate gratification of cussing someone out or something like that. Like it feels good in that moment, like, oh, I did you. But really, it's like you just hurt somebody, you just hurt a child of God, and whatever. And two wrongs don't make a right. It does all these things where it's like Jesus is like, people are gonna repay for their sins, whether it's on earth or in heaven on Judgment Day. So let God do his work, but you just took that away from him, and now you're in a sinful position. But what did that even do for you? What did that even do? It felt good in that moment, but you can't take back words if y'all end up making up or whatever happens. So like it just didn't really do you any good. Instead of working on yourself and getting yourself in a good spot and knowing that you handled it the right way, and they can't say anything about you now that you talked crazy and all this stuff. So I think it's that immediate gratification that gets us upset. And I feel like everything that's immediate gratification of, and that could be anything. Work can be immediate gratification. Ooh, I did good today at work. Ooh, I did good today in my sport I played. Me and my significant other are so good today. It always dies down and goes up. It could be, oh, I'm so sad, I'm crying, I'm depressed over it. I'm so happy about this relationship. I'm so happy about this job, but now I'm so depressed about this job. It goes so up and down when the race for Jesus is such a steady thing, which is, I think or at least for me, it took time to learn. It took time to grow and understand that truly, of putting faith in God. But anyways, but living is being weird, like everybody's weird. So just be weird. And I also feel personally, the more you keep and hide things, that's why I think it's also so important to live in your true self. The more you keep and hide yourself of who you believe that you are, the more you keep yourself and hide yourself from the people around you, the world, and you keep living a fake persona, it really does catch up to you, because it just gets exhausting trying to live that double life. It can even be so tiring. That's why depression can get really hard, because you're trying to act like you're good and fine and smiling to the world, to your friends, to society, to all these people, and then you come home to yourself crying, sad, and all these things. And when you do that, it's okay. Like, we're all so every now and then we're all gonna have to just fake it one day and think that we're fine. But doing that on a consistent basis for weeks and months or sometimes even years for people, that can get really exhausting. I think that's why it's important, even if you have to start over, live in your true self of what you want. Because the longer you fake it, you're prolonging a bust of like, can't do it no more and all these things. It's like, just restart, live your true self. And it is important to do what makes you happy, because you can't fake what makes you sad or unhappy. You can't do that, and the longer you do it, the worse it's doing for you, and the worse it's gonna be when it just pops out of you somehow, some way. And it's definitely getting very scary with how some people are just letting it out after they've had enough. So live in your true self, because it is beautifully created by God. And there is a difference between that immediate gratification and just being who you are and who you want to be. Live in it, because it can get very difficult. And this is also such a beautiful thing about the way Jesus is and the way he works. You coming out about being your true self can help so many other people feel like, oh, I finally have somebody I can talk to, because they just understand the weird way I think. Or you might say something and then somebody like, oh my God, that's how I felt. And you just can get these connections when you're being your true self. And then you also find people who are truly like you. You're not trying to fake it to find these friends who end up being fake friends, because you're not even being yourself. So you don't even really connect with these people that you're trying to be friends with. I know that sounds crazy, but it's such a true thing that people do. So when you are your true self, you do find the right people, and you do connect, and you grow in so many ways. Be who you want to be. Period. You're creating God's image, and don't hide how beautiful your spirit is, which is far more beautiful than anything on the outside. And God doesn't even look what's on the outside. He sees what's in our hearts. And if our hearts are pure, and he sees his child in the heart, and doesn't mean your true self, like always be a nice person. You don't need to do those immediate gratification things of cussing someone out or whatever that might be, of being rude. Just be yourself, and you're gonna find the right people, and it'll bring so much joy to your heart, where you're feeding your heart everything that your heart needs, so you can be a genuinely nice and lovable human being, and not be fazed when stuff happens that don't go the right way, and you're like, oh, it's fine, because your heart's getting fed what it needs to be fed. But anyways, that's my convo. Thank you guys for talking and listening. Comment down any responses you have. But anyways, time for bed. Good night, you guys. Love y'all. Respond. I don't know. What's it called? Oh, like, comment, and subscribe.